So, hello there, and hope your day is going good. I just want to share with you on my new podcast that has just been launched a week ago. I hope that you check it out and subscribe to it. My new podcast is called Grace Without Borders, or Orville Beckford Ministries podcast, ORB Ministries podcast. You can Google ORB Ministries. You can Google Grace Without Borders podcast. You can check it on Apple Podcast, on Stitcher, on Spotify, and TuneIn. Anywhere that you do your podcast, you can check out Grace Without Borders podcast, and that is coming from ORB Ministries. That is Orville Beckford Ministries podcast. It is Grace Without Borders because that's exactly what it is. Grace has no borders. That means wherever you are from, whatever you have done, whatever your past, how checkered your past may have been, grace without borders means God's grace is sufficient, available, and powerful enough to forgive you of all of your sins and your transgressions, whatever you have done in your past. Like the Apostle Paul says, where sin abounded, grace did much more abound. In other words, wherever sin takes its root or establishes itself, grace takes deeper root and spreads greater borders. That means everybody, no matter what you have done in your life, God has made it provision in the atoning blood of Christ to provide sufficient grace for redemption, for restoration, for regeneration, for salvation, for mercy and grace. Anything you have done in your past or are doing right now, you could not have gone too far. You could not have done something so heinous that grace cannot bring you back in and have you restored. So Grace Without Borders, Orville Beckford Ministries new podcast, and I suggest that you find it, listen to it, share it with your friends and family, subscribe to it, and be blessed by it. It is also available at obeckford.us, obeckford.us, obeckford.us. Everywhere and anywhere, you can always find Grace Without Borders podcast coming from ORB Ministries, that is Orville Beckford Ministry. And I am looking forward to seeing you joining, downloading, enjoying, and sharing. Let's expand ministry. Let's bring hope to others. Let's prove to others that no matter what they have done, God's grace is still sufficient to restore, to lift up, and to give them new hope. Looking forward to seeing you on Grace Without Borders podcast. All right. May God bless you and stay tuned.